You can't in any way in the history of mankind separate religion from man.
Let me now use Nigeria as an example. Okay, I went for experience last 2 years, and there was a part that I blacked out when the pastor said, pray for Nigeria to get better. I saw that as a waste of prayer point. God is always right, in quotes, can negate the idea of critical thinking. Because whatever outcome you find yourself in, you just believe God is always right. You don't stop to think and ask yourself, why is this thing this way?
Welcome to Unfiltered Voices, different opinion, one conversation. My name is Frederick Asika Osemudiame. I am your humble host. Here with me is Pastor Sam. Sir, may you introduce yourself to our audience?
Okay, Pastor Sam is the senior pastor of Kingdom Liberation Worship Center.
Okay.
A church, a Pentecostal church, with also known as the Unstoppable Church. I am a transformational leader. I advocate so much for youth transformation. I have a vision that runs for years on raising unstoppable generation. And then I am a convener of three major conferences annually.
Wow.
One of them is a Global Fire Conference, where I focus majorly on raising unstoppable generations. And then I have another conference that I solemnly use for the purpose of discipleship and leadership. It is called the DLC conference, where we focus on discipleship, leadership, trying to raise people so that people can be able to be balanced in life and in destiny. And then I have an annual conference for the young people, which is for the youths. Purely, it's called also the Youth on Fire Conference, wow, where we focus on unveiling the potentials of the youths, trying to drive the youth to find purpose and be able to focus on their purpose, wow, until it's realized. All right, for now, that is just a few I can say.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much for that. Here with me on my left is Mr. Victor. Mr. Victor, please, can you introduce yourself to our audience?
All right, Victor or Lorenzo. I'm a customer support specialist and also a talent manager. Outside of my boring job, I love exploring the unexplained, the entertaining. I love speaking about mysteries, extraterrestrials, supernaturals, anything that's engaging, that gives, a compelling story. I also love board games, video games, and anything that is quite challenging. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm happy to have you guys around on this podcast, Unfiltered Voices, where we have different opinion but one conversation. So, guys, here with me, you can hear from our guests. You can see we have different. You have already heard their background on what they do, on how they do on their own churches. In his church, and Mr. Vito also explained. So if guys do well to follow them on their Instagram or on their TikTok, on their pages. So thank you. Now we'll move straight to the business of the day. So now, sir, my first question goes to you, sir.
All right,
sir. Is religion in Africa a tool of control or a tool of liberation?
All right. I'm very interested in the topic, okay? You see, I want you to consider religion like fire. See it as fire.
Okay.
You see, when you see fire, fire can cook for you.
Okay.
Fire can warm you. At the same time, fire can also destroy you, can kill, depending on who is using the fire and how he's using the fire. That is how religion is in Africa. Religion is both a tool for liberation, and also religion can still be a tool for mental control. So it all depends on which one do you belong.
Okay.
On what are you running, what are you doing. What is your perception? What is your vision? The individuals, the spiritual authorities, men and women who are practicing those religions, are they sincere to themselves or not? So it all depends on them. So it can be a tool for liberation, and at the same time, it can be a tool for mental control. It can be a tool for even slavery. It can be for both. But practically to say, you can't say single-handedly that religion is not a tool for liberation. And you cannot also authentically say that religion is not a tool for mental control. So it can be a tool for liberation. It can be a tool for mental control. It all depends on who are those people involved in that particular religion. I think that helps a little.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Victor, what is your take on that?
Well, I see religion as a seatbelt. A seatbelt can actually give you comfort and can actually protect you. But then again, a seatbelt can actually be used to cause harm. Let me give you a scenario.
Okay.
You are in your car, someone decides to strangle you with a seatbelt. What occasionally, or what normally gives you comfort, can now be a tool of control or something that can lead to your downfall.
Wow.
So you describe it as fire, I describe it as a seatbelt.
Wow. That's brilliant. So, sir, why did you agree what Mr. Victor said? It can also be
Perfectly, I'm in line with him.
you are in line with him.
Yes, he's using seatbelt. I'm using fire.
Fire.
That is what religion looks like. You know, it can be good, it can be evil.
So now, how do we know the difference between the good and the evil one?
Oh, it all depends on if any religion that goes against morality, any religion that sponsors cruelty, and become evil. Any religions that makes people not to be able to think on their own, not to give themselves to critical thinking, for people not to have balance both in natural and the supernatural, that religion is out of course. You know? So that is why we said religion can be a tool for liberation, and it can be also a tool for mental control.
Wow. That is wonderful. Now, this brings me to you, Mr. Victor. You make an example and said it can also be a tool for what do you call it?
It can cause your own downfall.
Cause your own downfall by using, you cite the example of seatbelt.
Yeah.
Now, if someone in the car, just like as you have stated in your quest, someone in the car that is using a seatbelt, it can also be for comfort.
Yes.
Now, that same seatbelt can also be used for
Strangulation.
strangle the person to death.
Yes.
Right? Now, do you believe, is it the individual that is using the seatbelt is the problem, or the person behind that is want to use that seatbelt to strangle that person to death?
Okay. It can be both of them that are the problem, actually. Now, let me come again to the aspect of religion. There is something that you said when he asked you about religion. Can you repeat the first statement you made? There is something I picked from it.
Okay. I said we can see religion symbolically. We can see it as fire.
No. The second question, I think you said it all depends on there is a particular word.
Those who are practicing the religion.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yes. So there's a chapter in the Bible where religion, in a way, actually encouraged killing, where God told Moses to utterly destroy the Amalekites. Now, when he used the term utterly, this included people who had nothing to do with whatever happened. This included young children. This included women, people who are not. It's understandable if you are going to war and it's okay, man to man, soldier to soldier. This included civilians also. Now, would you support this type of religion?
If I would support such religion.
Yes.
Yeah, you see, when it comes to religion, okay, you can't in any way in the history of mankind separate religion from man. Religion has been there. And you know, we're using the word religion.
Of course.
But the context you are coming from now
It's from the Christianity.
is from the Christian background.
background.
So we are going out right now from the vague word
Religion. I
So
agree
we are
with you.
coming into a context now.
I agree with
All
you.
right? So if you are out of the conviction of the Christian religion, by the way, every well thoughtful, critical thinking person who is well informed, spiritually and physically, knows that when you enter the context of Christian faith, that you are no more talking about religion. Because practically religion itself is man's effort for something supernatural. That is religion. But when you come to the context where the globe or secularly disbelieve that Christianity is also a religion, when you come to that context, those who are in the conviction of Christianity is not seeing Christianity as a religion. Because actually religion is man's effort in trying to reach out to a supernatural being. But Christianity is the opposite. Christianity is God's effort to reach out to man. And so if you are in the same context with me, or from the place you are coming from, talking about where God said, go and destroy the Amalekites, you will discover that you are going to something deep. But if you have gone to my point, from the point I'm coming from, you will know that as far as it has to do with God, God cannot in any way be wrong.
Okay. There are two things that you said. One, you said you cannot separate man from religion. I think you can. I think we are confusing religion with morality. Morality being knowing what is good and what is right. Most people confuse that with religion. There was a time there was nothing like religion. For example, there are people born in remote places, people who do not know of God, Judaism, Hinduism, Islam. All those terms are alien to them. They don't practice any form of religion, but they are born, they know, okay, I'm not supposed to do this. I'm not supposed to enjoy seeing my fellow man suffer. I'm not supposed to enjoy killing, stealing, stuff like that. So I believe you can separate man from religion. Secondly, this type of people now that I'm talking about, people who were not fortunate enough to hear of any form of religion. Now, I'm not saying Christianity, any form of religion. How do you suppose this type of people would be judged?
You see, whatever we believe determines what we become. And that determines how we see life. That determines how we go in life. You said you believe that man can be separated from religion. I am on the opposite. Right from history, take your time and go through history. Man always believed in something. Yeah. Even those ones you thought, oh, they're just more and all of that, they still believed in something supernatural. Take away the Christianity, take away the Muslim, the popular religion we practice in this part of the world, in this continent. We discover that even before the advent of Christianity, Muslim, Islamic, the people, our ancestors, still believed in something. They all believed in something. They all always have something, they believe something supernatural. So religion has always been there. That's always been there.
Just like
sometimes it's even like some of them believe in something they are not fully aware, but they have this conviction. They have this something, they just believe something is there.
Yeah.
So religion has always been there. It's always an effort of man in one way or the other, trying to believe that there's something beyond the natural, something protecting them, something guiding them. There's something helping our land. There's something that is making our land to go the way it's going. So man always believes in something. And that is where all religion began from.
Now, sir, do you have something to say again?
Okay, he made mention, he said, God is always right. Yes, that was something that you said in the last time. Now, I feel saying God is always right, in quotes, can negate the idea of critical thinking. Because whatever outcome you find yourself in, you just believe God is always right. You don't stop to think and ask yourself, why is this thing this way? Why am I faced with this? Okay, I got married to my wife for 14 years. I've not given birth. I don't have a child. You are not thinking, okay, can I go for a test, or is there something wrong with me? Oh, there's the idea of artificial insemination. The child will have 50% of the mother's DNA. You just believe God is always right. It is right. It is this idea that your wife is barren for 14 years. After 14 years, you celebrate giving birth to twins that should have actually been 14 years old by this point in time. What is the point? I think that statement teaches people to endure suffering, believing it is God's decision, rather than questioning that condition they are in.
All right. Can I
No,
go ahead?
yes, go ahead, go ahead, sir.
So, Mr. Victor, you see, you have a point, but it all depends on the perception you're coming from. You see, in life, generally, any situation a man finds himself is not a major problem. Any situation you find yourself is not the major problem. The major problem is the reaction to the situation. It's a major problem. Whether you're going to get solution or you wouldn't get solution, it all depends on your reaction to that situation. And so that's why we get it wrong. You see, we know in parts. We understand in parts. Any religion that takes away responsibility is a useless religion. And for Christian religion, coming from this context we are talking about, doesn't take away responsibility. So anyone that finds himself in the scenario you created and then is believing and having faith, faith is not irresponsibility.
Faith without action.
Faith without action will not produce anything. So anyone that tells you that, oh, because you are believing God, then you don't need to go for tests, you don't need to do anything, the person is not balanced. So it's not God. And that is why if I'm a pastor, so anytime I'm conversing, my convictions come from the scripture. So even our master says, thou will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. And even if you know the truth and you don't even do the truth you know, you won't still be set free. We don't blame God for that. You won't blame God for that. So most of the times, it's not about God. It's never about God. It's about people's understanding, the level of their depth of understanding, and how they follow what they believe. So some people follow and then they don't go deep to understand what are the responsibilities needed. What do I supposed to do? What is the actions I expected from me? Some people have the mindset that, oh, because it's Christianity, then we leave everything for God. Everything is for God. No, everything is not for God. There is always a part that man is going to play. For whatever you believe in, to work actively for you. Very important.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, this brings me to your own perspective as a pastor.
All right.
Now, we believe in Africa, let me use Nigeria as example. In Nigeria, we believe we have two major religions, which is the Muslim and the Christian. Now, most religious leaders, which is the Muslim leaders and the Christian leaders, why we have this topic so much today is because so many people don't have jobs. So many people don't have homes. So many people cannot even feed. Now we have religious leaders who have all of these things in abundance. Instead of creating jobs, they are not creating. I'm not speaking against the religious leader of Christian alone.
Yeah.
Now, instead of creating jobs, they will not create jobs. Instead of creating shelter, they won't create shelter. Instead of maybe reducing their school fees for their members to be able to afford, they will not reduce. They will build a big schools. They will not reduce the school fees for their members to be able to attend. And yet, those members that are struggling, all right, this is where the mental control comes in. Those members that are struggling will still go and pay their tithe their offering to the same church. And the religious leader will stamp on their pulpit or on their what is mostly called their this thing. You understand? They will still ask them to come and give. Now the question is, has it become a business that you now control people's mental capability, control their mind to give instead of providing for them as a religious leader, or speak truth to power rather, to let the government know that these things, this is what the people need. That is what we call love and peace. All right? Now, they are not doing all of this. So, for me, that is why I brought up this topic.
Yeah.
I believe it's a mental control. All right? Instead of for liberation from the bad governance or the society where you find yourself.
Yeah.
So, because in the Bible, Jesus speaks truth to power. All right? So that is why this topic. So for you as a pastor, what's your take on that, sir?
Okay. You see, the angle you are coming from is one of the reasons why I accepted to be in this podcast with Unfiltered Voices.
Thank you so much, sir.
I decided to be around because there are misconceptions that must be corrected.
Okay.
In every generation, there is always misconceptions. In every generation, there's always been people missing it out completely. You see, if you are coming from the angle of the church are not creating jobs, the church are not providing shelters, you see, it's a gross misconception.
Okay.
And that is why I felt the media space, we should be able to come up from time to time to correct many narrations that is out there.
Thank God you are here, sir.
That is why I'm here. That's why I said I will attend. Okay. You see, if let's be particular about Nigeria.
Okay.
At this point, okay, we can just make it more of Africa. You see, if the government of this nation can run the nation the way spiritual leaders, this is both Islamic religion or Christian, if the government can actually run this nation as the church, the leaders are running it, we won't be where we are right now.
Okay.
The church has done more than you can think of. Do you know how many thousands of people are in the payroll of some of the spiritual leaders you're talking about? Only in this nation. Do you know how many families are eating from these leaders? Let's take, for instance, somebody like the Living Faith.
Odepo.
Do you know how many families are under the payroll of that single spiritual institution?
Okay.
Do you know how many people are under the payroll of RUCCG? How many families in this nation that is under the payroll of RUCCG? Is it the schools we're talking about? Those who are working there, are they not paying them? Do you know how many scholars, people who went to school? I was told, I know countless of people who I personally pastored, who went through the 4 walls university just on the courtesy of the Foundation. I pastored them. But they went through that school for 4 good years, no anything like school fees and all of that. There are many things that the church is doing that out there we're not aware. We are suffering light issue and all of that. Do you know how places like the Redemption City, places like Kenaland, 1990 date, no light off. The same country. If the nation is being run with the sound mind that the spiritual leaders are using to run the spiritual institutions, this nation will not be in a mess. And by the way, spiritual organizations, institutions are not created primarily to create job for you.
Okay.
We have government to create job for the citizens.
Okay.
All right? Now, that does not mean that we will say that the spiritual leaders have not had some flaws on their own or some limitations that they have come in. Are you get what I'm saying? They will have some limitations. But I will tell you, take away the impact, the result, the effort of the entire religions. Both you make mention of both the Islams and the Christians. Take away the whole impact they have. You will see that the gap is very wide. The church has done well. The church is doing so much. We can still do more. We can still do more. Talk to power and all of that. We can still do more. Truly, sincerely, I think unfiltered voices. We want to push out. We might have different opinions,
of course,
and then different conversations. One conversation,
yes.
And we want to correct some things that is going wrong. And then it's true that the Christian bodies, Islamic religion bodies might have not done the whole expectations we have.
Of course.
But we can't deny the impact of the church. We can't deny the impact of religion in the nation. Many people today who are doing very well. Do you know? I mean, we have, if you watch, when you check the social space, you check what is happening in media places and all of that, you discover that most of the people that cries more on the social spaces are not the professionals. They're not people that has facts much. They're not people who are doing very well. Do you think they are riffraffs that are in those religious bodies? We have professors who are there. We have people with PhD who are there. Do you think they're not using their mind? They are using their mind. Many people, we can't, like I said at the beginning, that religion could be like fire, can cook for you, but can burn you. We can't deny the fact, we can't negate the fact that there are people who are taking advantage and hide behind the pulpit, hide behind religious body, and do nonsense and all of that. But the truth is that the church, the religious bodies have made a lot of impact.
Thank you very much. I will come back to you. So, what's your take on that before we go on break?
Two things were mentioned. You said the church has people on their payroll. It has people on their payroll because it's paying for their services. It's not like, okay, you call, even that payroll that you are talking about, you have someone who dedicates his time to the church and you are giving that person 50,000 per month and you are calling that payroll out of members who are paying like, how many members who contribute offerings and tithes, you are giving them like 50,000, 20,000. You have a school where people are paying up to 5 million. You are giving the lecturers like 300,000, 200,000. You are calling that payroll, in quotes. Fine. You are paying them because it's their service, their office. It's not like...
Please, sorry to interrupt you. Do you have the fact of the figure they are paying, or you're just assuming?
Oh, definitely. I have few people who have worked as instrumentalists and who have left. Because some of these pastors will tell you, you are using your gift. That payroll, before you even get to that point, you would have done that for a few months. They'll tell you are using your gift, in quotes, for God, before that payroll thing even be considered. Then secondly, we are complaining about this government. Fine, this government is actually corrupt. But we have some of these spiritual leaders, in quotes, who are whining and dining with this government. The first lady is even close to one of these pastors who we all know, I will not mention. Now, I believe, since you are close to, just like me, I'm close to the devil.
Are you close to the devil?
No, I'm not saying that. If I'm close to the devil, if I am close to the devil, what will you actually call me?
A devil.
Thank you. But now we are using, this person is my daddy in the Lord, is my this, is my that. But this person is, supporting a devilish government. But because of there is no critical thinking, or you are not allowed to use logic, you put you are blind to that fact, but you are just focusing on the fact that, oh, this person is a pastor, this person is this person is that. I'm sure the viewers can actually relate to a few things that I'm saying.
Okay, so we'll go on break, then we'll come back, we'll continue. Guys, stay tuned.